How are you doing? Sorry, just talking to Steve in a Telegram group. The EA works on its own, Steve. So it doesn't need anything else. It's purely independent. It just works on its own. So you don't need to buy anything, do anything. It is its own thing. What's going on with my VPS? Anyway. Afternoon all, how are we all doing? Afternoon Alex, afternoon Stevie, afternoon Crom, afternoon it's time. Afternoon Diamond, TLIF. Thank Lee, it's Friday. I don't know. Afternoon Steve, afternoon James. The missing comma threw me. Did I not put a comma in? Probably me, super fast typing. Right. Anyway, volume low or is it me? Volume low? You kidding? Look at the size of that candle. Just had news. Massive volumes. Volumes high. Nostrovia. Oh, I could really do a vodka now. Afternoon, Diriji Bashar. Diriji Bashar. How you doing? Afternoon, Pip. From the mic. Meant my mic. What? Volume low? No. Turn up your volume. I haven't adjusted my volume. I can turn my volume up if you want. Is that better? Is that bigger, stronger, louder? I can go higher. I can go super high. I can go that high and really deafen you. But I won't do that because that's really nasty. Is that all right? I've just been on a Zoom call this morning, so it's probably screwed up my mic. Let me just check. One sec. No, it is the right one. Should be all right. Afternoon, Steve. Afternoon, CACV. Yes, the volume was a bit low. Okay, well, I've turned it up. So there you go. I'm a bit louder now. Hopefully, I'll turn it up a little bit more, just in case. I don't want to deafen you. I'm watching my little bar, you see, and it goes into the yellow. When it goes into the yellow, it's a little bit loud. When it goes into the red, it's... Pups just look sideways. Don't know what noise it was. Anyway, should we get on with some trading? Rather than talking crap. Right. Dow, DAX rather, just an utter mess this morning. Forget the DAX, pain in the ass. Dow, we've had a very big move off of the news. So we've had the news for retail sales, all negative. So of course the US dollar pumped. So yeah, that's a hell of a miss as well. 1% negative, 0.8 on core. So that's not just lower than expected. It's lower than expected by more than double. So obviously what you would expect when you get that sort of news is for the US dollar to rally. So that's what it's doing, which I'm not complaining about because the H1 set files banked $715 off of it, and we got a load of open P&L. So however, I'm not quite sure this is going to be sustained. So the movement we've had on the Dow is obviously opposite to what we would expect when the US dollar rallies. We expect the indices to drop, so it obviously rallied with the index. So nothing's making any sense at the minute. So I'm not going to run personally the opening range strategy this afternoon. I'll probably regret it. It'll probably be the best opening range breakout we've had all month. But there's a lot of volatility in at the moment. So this is all pre-market volatility, which is a lot higher than usual. So if you're going to run it, fine. Just be a bit careful. We might get a bit of a whippy open. You can never tell. So it is what it is. Crank to 11. Afternoon, Derp. Afternoon. Hi, Simon. That's fine. Good. Mike's good. Good. 7% in profit for the week. I should just close the charts. I would. Do it. Shut the charts. So yeah, we'll watch the Dow open. So we've got University of Michigan at 3 o'clock this afternoon, which is very, very hit and miss. So what we've just seen is a rally on the US off the back of negative news, which is obviously the opposite to what we would normally expect. We've got Michigan, which could well just revert the entire thing. So just be a bit wary of that. If we look at the actual news that came out, we've got a 1/4 point hike in June now being priced in. Significant credit tightening could reduce the need for rate increases. Blah blah blah. That was all Waller said, I think. Yeah. So the interesting thing that's come out from Waller, basically, well, not from Waller, but from this, is the Fed swaps upgrade the May hike odds to nearly 90%. So we're sitting currently at 5% for the US interest rate. So what we are looking at is a 90% certainty of a rate hike in May, which takes us to 5.25. Yeah. What has just been said in here is Waller sees basically, or rather the Fed swaps are pricing in a 1/4 point rate hike in June. Now that takes us up to 5.5 because we've got a 90% certainty of a May hike, which has got to be 1/4%, which takes us up to 5.5 in June, which is above our expectations, which is massively bullish for the US dollar. So again, very confusing as to what is going on at the moment. There's very mixed signals flying around all over the place with what is actually going to be the terminal rate on the US dollar. I can't see 5.5. The speed this is coming down, that's going to overshoot inflation. If inflation drops below 2%, they're in real trouble. So I think we'll have to wait and see what happens in May and what the market makes of it. But there's a lot of bull rumblings around still. Although the US dollar certainly doesn't seem like it's interested in being very bullish, does it? Although we have just obviously had a nice rally off of the back of that negative news. So we'll see what happens. Watch ADRs today. We could well get ADRs on this US. If we do, I said this morning, didn't I? I got a feeling this is a fake move, and we're going to rally on the US. But if it is, today might be the day. We'll see. Markets open. There's your pre-market 15. So fairly nice tight. Pre-market 5 is there. Where's Outro? He's not in here, is he? Who trades the 5-minute pre-market break. So see how that goes. Let's watch the NASDAQ as well. I'll go through some of the trades that have closed out as well in a bit. We'll have a look at ADRs, etc. ADR-wise, there isn't any today, so that's nice and easy, isn't it? We'll look at the weeklies again. We did this morning. So not a massive move at the open. So NASDAQ's rallying to the highs. We've had pre-market bank. Someone mentioned this morning, I can't remember who it was, but about pre-market, there is all the banking stocks have had earnings releases, and they are mostly in the Dow. So we were possibly expecting a bit of volatility off of the Dow, but it doesn't seem to have done an awful lot at the moment. So NASDAQ's rejecting the highs in that propulsion gap. We'll see where that goes. Big rejection on the NASDAQ. So we might be open for a drop, which would be what I would expect with a strong US dollar. Outro, there you are. My ORB was delayed by about 15 seconds for some reason. Market execution, that is. 15 seconds is a long time. Who's your broker? I mean, the EA can only execute as fast as your broker lets it. So one thing you want to check is, did the lines get drawn instantly and the order get executed 15 seconds late, or did the lines get executed 15 seconds late? If the lines got executed 15 seconds late, it's your terminal. If the order's entry got executed after the lines, it's your broker. That's the way you can tell. Okay, ORB is going long on the Dow on the pre-market. If you're taking that divergence again across the indices, my Forex funds. I thought it hadn't worked, so I checked my settings and then it just popped up. Very weird. Afternoon, Neo. I can't get away from these useless retail charts. I know they are useless, aren't they? They make you so much money, these useless retail charts. But if you ever get an opportunity to see the numbers inside the useless retail charts in a different useless retail chart, I know a course you can buy for about $2,000. The lines didn't come on for 15 seconds and the order was way wider than it should have been. Don't know what that is. That sounds like an issue with the terminal to me. Not executing for some reason. Might have been a terminal freeze. Don't know. This is part of the problem when you're using a high volatility breakout strategy like the ORB. You've got a lot of orders coming in at the same time. It's like when you're trading news. It's quite hard to get order execution on a news event because there's just so much data comes into your terminal. It just doesn't work. Anna, I was long on gold and got burned. Oh dear. That's because you traded gold. ADR hit on gold. Look. Again, it's a US dollar cross. US dollar rally, gold drop. What did I say this morning? Short gold. What do I know about gold? It's shiny. That's all I know about gold. I just love the feels really good having chunky. Just feels good. Although it's cheap crap gold, it's a nice thing to hold, gold. You wait, that's going to turn my hand black. It's very expensive gold, that. Right, Dow's not really doing anything. We just had a touch on the opening range on the 15-minute pre-market. So we're 17 seconds away from candle close. There's your 5-minute opening range. So it is fairly tight, which is possibly a good thing, possibly a bad thing, depending on whether or not we get any volume coming out in the next 10 minutes. So this is either going to run for the hills because it's rejected the upside, or we're going to get one of those nasty wiki sessions like we had on the DAX this morning. So there's your 5-minute opening range. So breakout, I would suspect more to the downside than the upside this afternoon. Nasdaq's broken the upside. See where that one goes. Pound yen. Nowhere at the minute. I'm short at the moment on the pound yen. Done one drawdown control. Oh, this was this weird order, wasn't it? So I had this order placed and then second entry, and then it closed out the second entry, but for some reason didn't close the first entry. I have never seen it before, and I don't know why it did it. So done drawdown control on that. Have a new second entry on, and just waiting for a drop. But I'm looking for shorts on it. Yen strength basically is what we're waiting for. Looked like it was starting to come through yesterday, and we've stalled today. So it's tapped into the propulsion gap, and it's holding nicely. Targets to the downside, all over the place. So I'm expecting a drop on this at some point, but we're waiting for some yen strength to come through. A strong US dollar might well help the yen as well. So we'll see what happens. But pound should be weak. So I would be short on that. But right now, there's nothing. It's just flat. No reason to get into it at all. More short than long. But it's just a mess. Just a choppy old mess at the minute. 5-minute opening range is just tapped long as well. Doesn't look very promising today. I thought this might happen. Whenever we get these big moves in pre-market, so i.e. if there's news an hour before the open, we get this at the open. We've seen it very, very often. The market is exhausted. It's put in so much volume before the open. There is literally no cash balance to go in because they've executed all their orders during the previous liquidity that's come in, all the volume that's coming off the news. So I wouldn't hold out too much hope for a strong break in either direction initially. We will probably get some movement, but it looks very, very tame at the minute. It's Friday afternoon as well, which tends to be fairly illiquid, doesn't it? Are you still doing back testing on other people's strategies? Not at the moment, because no one sent me any. But if they do, yes. If you want to send me a strategy, there's a link on the website, up in the header, up there. Fill out the form. Give me all the info, how it works. And I will back test it. If it's simple, if it's really, really complicated and it's going to take me like 2 days to build an EA, then I'm not going to do that for free, obviously. Unless I think it really is the Holy Grail. Right. So we've broken out to the upside on the Dow. The Nasdaq's obviously flying off to the upside as well. So where are we headed? We've got 3 propulsion gaps to the upside on the 5-minute there. That is the Globex high for the day. And that is yesterday's high. So expect to see limit triggers up there. Propulsion there. And obviously higher the Globex session there for the Dow. So let's see how we get reactions at the highs. I just need to check my EA account 1 sec. I was going to say I stumbled across this guy on YouTube who gives all his content away for free. Only has 5,000 subs or something, but his strat seems interesting. Could be worth looking at. Yeah, send me a link on Telegram. I'll have a look at it. Assuming it isn't, what's his name? No, it's not him because he's got more subscribers than that. Still hasn't moved. Fine. Right. So there's your 10-minute opening range. So I quite fancy a short off the highs on the Nasdaq. See what happens when we get up there. Right, let's do a quick analysis of what's gone on this morning. So ADRs, nothing. Weekly ranges, exactly the same as this morning. If you want to have a look at the analysis on the weekly ranges, go and watch this morning's Bootcamp live stream. It's all on there. Nothing's hit ADR. We've got, obviously, the US pairs are on the move at the moment. So there's a possibility we're going to get US dollar ADRs today. But apart from that, there isn't any. So it's flat today. RSIs are very similar to what we looked at this morning. So what's been closed out today on the ADRs, a little bit of a loss on the ADRs. So closed out pound US dollar, wherever that is, somewhere. So yeah, closed out pound US dollar. Actually, I could do that, couldn't I? That would be the logical thing to do. Let me see if I can put the plotter on there. No, that's not going to work because the dashboard's on there. Don't worry. So yeah, pound US dollar closed out that one for $300, but done some drawdown control on the euro US dollar today. So ADRs are just minus 19.19%, sitting in no drawdown. Good chance of banking euro US dollar today. If we get a continued US dollar push today, that euro US dollar will get banked today, which takes that back into positive. But mediocre week, 2.5% on that. H1 done 0.71 this morning. We've closed out. I'll have a look at those in a minute, but we're up 1.43% this week. So again, quiet week again. But should close out hopefully some more if we get this continuation push on the US dollar. 4-hour mean reversion banked 1.2%. This thing's killed it today. So just banked tons today on the H4 M5. So that's done 2%. So that's the best set file this week. Still more sitting in 2% of drawdown. There's still more positions open. Again, Swiss yen's the main thing that's just stuck across the board at the minute. And the hedging set file has done virtually nothing today, 0.03%, sitting in 11%. So, and my EA accounts basically aren't doing anything. So the H1s today, what have we closed out today? Euro New Zealand. So that was H1 RSI extension. Yeah, straight in, straight out next day. That was a 2-day hold, that one from up there. So that was nice. Euro New Zealand traded it both ways. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. This was yesterday, H1 RSI extension, straight in, straight out, back into propulsion. That was one I said about this morning. CAD yen. That's just drawdown control. Euro CAD in 2 days out. So that was an H1 RSI. Again, up there, out. Same as that one in reverse. And what else we got? US dollar CAD's drawdown control. And we've also closed out. There's a couple more drawdown controls there for Euro US dollar and US dollar CAD. And New Zealand dollar CAD is the other one. So H1 RSI extension, M5 reversal alert, out. So quite a lot closed out today. Obviously just waiting on the rest of this still, but got back half of yesterday's losses. So if we can get this back up to a couple of percent, it's good enough in this week. So we'll go through the RSIs. Let me just see what the Dow's up to. Looks like the platform's frozen. Oh no, I just ticked up there. Yeah, no, the platform's frozen. Look at that spread. Jeez. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. There we go. Wow, that was data issue there. Look at that. It was going sent on Telegram. Yeah, cool. Place order games afternoon. Late boys got distracted. Lost my gains since London. That's not good. That's because using stop losses, isn't it? Still got 1R locked in on the NAS, but would have been way more if the order executed at the price it wanted. Yeah. That is trading. Right. Okay. So Nasdaq's just coming up and retesting the highs. So yesterday's high. So watch this level. We'll get some limits triggering up here. Back down into that propulsion if you want to take a quick scalp. Dow sellers are stepping in. So that's your 15-minute opening range. Thinking about it, isn't it? I'm just waiting for this to get up there and actually hit that level, but it's not. We've got real nice propulsion gap down here as well. This accumulation break. Lovely target to the downside. So if we get a reaction there, you've got potentially quick shoot out the highs and then reversal today. If you look at the levels on the hourly, we've got ADR 125 basically today, which is up here as your upside target. Downside target is ADR 125 to the downside, which is the lows from Wednesday stroke Thursday. So bang in the middle basically of a decent run in either direction today. I would suspect more downside, but that would rely on this US dollar pushing, and it seems to have stalled out a little bit at the moment. So we'll see what happens, but it is holding. Okay, Nasdaq's testing the highs. There we go. So we're through the highs. So we'll see if we get a load of limits, trigger and reject up here. We get a bearish move. So if you wanted to use, if you're using the price action toolkit, for example, right now, pending order under the low, and just take a break of that candle if it's going to go down. Could you tell me more about the VPS, please? Do you use a trading VPS or just Windows Server VPS? What size CPU and storage you need to get? Up to you. The firm that I use is these guys. Come on, website. These guys here, VPS Forex Trader. So the reason I like them is you can basically pick any server you want, obviously, but they tell you roughly how many MT4s you can run. So what these VPSs are optimized for MT4 in the fact that they have auto updates turned off and certain other little tweaks, basically. And they've got an MT4 manager installed on them, but you don't really need it. I never use it. So at the end of the day, it's just a Windows server. That's all a VPS is. So these tell you roughly how many you can use. I would say, to be safe, half that number. Because yes, you can run 7 MT4s on that. You stick 28 charts on those 7 MT4s, it'll die. So it can run MT4 7 times, but it depends how many charts you put on it, how many indicators you put on it, how many EAs you're running on it. You know, there's running a piece of software, and then there's running a piece of software under load, which is what you're going to do when you put EAs on it. So usually I would say half that number. That will handle 1 MT4 with 28 charts on it, maybe. But the difference in price, you know, between that and that, for $15, if you're going to argue about $15, there's a problem. So I would just go for that. And they also do dedicated servers as well, which are, I mean, if you get one of these, you know, like it says there, 24. So I've got one of these, and I've also got the other shared one. I can not run 25 MT4s on it. I can quite comfortably run 8 MT4s with 28 pairs open, no problem on that. They are literally just Windows VPSs, so get them wherever you want. But this gives you a guide. The reason this website is good is because it gives you that guide. But you know, people always say, what specification do I need for trading? Well, if you're just going to run MT4 with a bare naked chart, you can run it on pretty much a Pentium 3 PC. If you want to start sticking 3 dashboards, 2 MT4s, and a load of other stuff on it, ain't going to stand up, is it? So the beauty of VPSs is you can always upgrade them. So if you just get a VPS, not dedicated, I mean, if you get dedicated, you'll never need to look back. But if you get a VPS and you go with the bare minimum and say, get that one, stick an MT4 on it and it's really slow, just upgrade. And instantly it fixes your problem. And if that gets slow, upgrade. It takes seconds to upgrade. Literally, you press a button in the admin area, it upgrades you, and then you log in 30 minutes later and you're up. So, but those are the guys I use. Never had a problem with them. There's lots of other, I mean, any Windows VPS. Some people use Amazon Web Services. I just can't be bothered with it because you have to configure it all, and it's a fact. Whereas that is basically place an order, they email you the logins, remote desktop, put the password in, done. Download MT4, off you go. So those are the guys I use anyway. Right, Nasdaq's out the high. So I'll be watching that for shorts. Dow is struggling at the 15-minute opening range high and is struggling to make a high. So we've got divergence across those two. RSI is extended nicely on there. So if we are going to tap out, this is this week's high. We're going to tap out this week's high and go. This is where we're doing it from. Otherwise, we're coming up to 13,240 as our upside target. Nasdaq's really running. Yep, it is. Afternoon, Luke. Have a hunt for one in the US. They're in the US, James. These guys, look. You can pick your VPS location, look. Yeah. These guys are in Lithuania, I think. VPS Forex, I think they're based in Lithuania. But you pick your server location, London, Amsterdam, New York, or where's Vilnius? Lithuania, there you go. So these guys are based in Lithuania, but you can get VPSs anywhere. These are all these work off of data centers, basically. So all these hosting companies out there are white label hosting companies for the big hosting guys. Yeah. So there's only about 4 companies in the world, pretty much, that run the data centers. Host Europe. Yeah. So you've probably never heard the name Host Europe, but you've probably heard of GoDaddy and 123 Reg. It's Host Europe. They all have the data centers. Google use Host Europe data centers. Yeah, so all these servers, when you go, I want a server in Amsterdam, that will be going through Host Europe. So whether you use these guys or another guy, when you pick your server location, it's all the same box. If I buy here and you buy from another company, we'll probably end up on the same box. Well, not the same box, but in the same room, basically. Doesn't matter where you buy it from. And, you know, server location, people keep going on about, well, not going on about, but people have said, you know, or I need to have a VPS in New York because my broker's based in New York. So does a 0.300 millisecond difference make a difference to you? Because that's basically what it is. If my server is in London and my broker is in New York, the difference between having a server in New York and a server in London is less than a second execution time. If you are scalping super, super, super fast, might make the difference between 5 or 10 pips a week. Don't bother about it. Just buy a machine, stick the EAs on it, and forget about it. Because you're not going to be watching the EAs. Whether the EAs get you 1 pip or 2 pips difference, you're not going to know. So just don't worry. Don't worry about details. Just get it and get it on. Get it and get it on. Good day. Where do I get a discount code for my Forex funds to register? You don't. They don't do discounts. They're a proper firm. I don't know. I haven't got a discount code for them. They didn't give me one. It's only going to save you like $20. So, Kakvi, I just wanted to shout a vouch for the Hatzner as a VPS. Windows VPS, 3 CPUs, 4 gig RAM, and storage with €9 a month. That's cheap. Hatzner. I guess it's under there. That's cheap. Very cheap. Are they Windows though? Haven't you got to then put OS is on and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, there's loads of, you know, for the sake of the difference between 10, 20, 30, 40 or $50 a month when you're trading, I just, you know, I understand if people are looking to make a couple of $100 a month, it makes a difference, but I just don't bother. Just buy one and do it. Happy Friday, David. All good. Drop you a DM. It's Hitzner. I've just looked at them. There you go. Yeah, the window's cool. Hetzner. He'll mean Hetzner. I have 4 dedicated boxes of them. There you go. Anyway, yeah, there you go. That's VPSs. That turned into a very long-winded explanation of a VPS. No. But now we all know everything about VPSs. Right, so the Nasdaq's managed to get out those highs. We are now out of the weekly high as well. So let's see if they run out of steam up here. Certainly seems to be a lot of absorption going on at the moment. Dow has put in a whacking great bearish engulfing, which means absolutely nothing. But if that low gets broken, I would suspect we're going to come and run the lows. So see where we go on that. Let's look at the RSIs. So Aussie dollar, US dollar is the first one. That's a 4-hour RSI extension. Already playing out at the moment. So I'm in short on this one yesterday. This is from the H1M5 strategy though. That would be the target in there. US dollar strength has dropped this. We want this propulsion gap target filled. So if that gets down there, I'll be out of that one this afternoon. But your entry on that one was this morning. Somewhere in there. There it was. There. No. Is that an arrow? Can't see. I'm blind. I'm pretty sure I got into this yesterday. Didn't I? Can't see my entry. Anyway, my entry's on that red line somewhere. But yeah, I'm basically in this short already. I'm pretty sure this was an entry off of this ADR yesterday. No, it's there. I can see it. It's there. That's my entry for some reason. So yeah, anyway, this is coming down at the moment. So they've just taken all the liquidity at the high, run the highs, drop down, enticing in the shorts. So we'll see if they come and push back up into that area and then come back down and test. So you can still get into this. You've got to be very quick though. So there's your reversal alert and it's on its way down. So that's Aussie US. Swiss yen, RSI extension on the 4-hour. This one's still pushing. I've got shorts on this at the moment. CAD yen's just hit its weekly range. I've got 2 ADR hits now on pound US and pound CAD. Something just happened to the pound. ADR on the New Zealand CAD as well. They're all coming in now. Look. Canadian dollar's dropping. University of Michigan has just come in. New Zealand dollar, US dollar has just hit as well. Look at it all kicking off now. So University of Michigan is positive. So more positive US, 1.5. That's not bad. So yeah, not bad. Pretty bullish. So see if we get some reaction off of that. So the Canadian dollar has just rallied. I would suspect we're going to see a rally off of the US dollar as well. US dollar CAD will give us a good indication of which is the stronger of the two at the minute. Looks at the moment pretty even. So more bullish movement on the US. Euro US will be coming down. So yeah, all going in the right direction with the US. Let's have a quick look at these ADRs first. So pound CAD short. I've got a long on this at the moment on an H1 extension, and I've got a feeling this is from this morning. Yeah, it is. So there's your H1 RSI extension I got in there. Second entry will need to be somewhere around there. Which I'm not going to get on again. Really not liking this 1 ADR. I know it's scaling in nice and slow, but it does miss. I've noticed I've missed an awful lot of profit opportunities which I would have got with 3/4 of an ADR scale-ins. So this support here, 125 ADR, if we get down to there, would be an optimal place to take a second position on that one. But if you're getting on your first ADR, obviously just drop down to M5. Reverse alert on this is going to be miles away by the looks of things at the moment up there. So you're not going to get in until we get it back up there. Pound US dollar, that'll be coming down again with the US. So we've just come straight off of ADR. I've just closed out pound US dollar short. So that trade's literally just closed on that news. And we're coming off of ADR now. New Zealand dollar CAD, again, your entry on that one, if you want to take an ADR reversal, is going to be there, trading back up into there. That propulsion gap is filled. Yeah, it didn't paint properly then. So up into here. New Zealand dollar CAD. Again, ADR here. That's on the Canadian dollar. Got out the short on that this morning. That's coming down to a nice area of potential support. It's kind of more of a zone down here. Yeah, so anywhere around there looks pretty good for support bounce. That's ADR. Failing that, we'll be coming back down into this area. So we're nicely extended on the RSI. Push up into there. You're not going to get a reverse alert on this very easily, though, today. Your reverse alert pretty much is there. It's only just happened, isn't it? So we'll wait and see what happens with these, but these are going to be quite tricky to get into, I think you find today. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. So that's literally just tapped into ADR. We've got this area here to watch. We've got support there. And obviously that triple bottom. So that was previous resistance. Broke, tested, tested, tested. That got tested twice. Pushed up, retested that area. Potentially this is where we're going to get a bounce from. Failing that, it will be somewhere there or there. So 100, 125, 150 ADR. Possible bounces today. There we go. If these prop firms gave more than 30 days for challenges, I'd have max funding. Well, Outro, I have a solution for you. If you go to trader funding on the website, when it loads, my website's not having much fun today. I think I've got some massive server lag issues at the minute, or I've just got loads of people on the website. But so if you go here, right, max days, and you go 45 or 60, it will give you prop firms that give you more than 30 days for a challenge. Funnily enough, there is now an E8 extended challenge with a 60-day target. And the best thing is, it's the same price. So it's the top two, it's the second and third columns, yeah? It's the same price, regardless of whether you go for a 30-day or a 60-day evaluation. So go and sign up with E8. Go and do your research. It's on there. A lot of them give you 60 days in the second phase, but first phase, you now have options for 60 days in the first phase with E8 funding. And E8 are the second cheapest out there as well. So the only difference you've got is that, which is awesome. Which is pretty much the same as you get with my Forex funds. So E8 have kind of trumped my Forex funds in that regard, although they are still a little bit more expensive. However, if you're taking a retest and you've already had a failed evaluation with E8, you do get a discount. No, you don't. Sorry, not with E8. That's with my Forex funds. Is E8 with 8 crap? No, E8's not with 8 crap. Outro, how long have you been in here? Look, my top 3. I don't use 8 crap, as you know. I use my Forex funds in E8. All of my funding is through these guys. Only. And Fidelcrest once. But I just blew. I can't use Fidelcrest personally. They should actually be down. I need to move them down. They're my number 3, not number 1. They're number 1 for profit target, but you can't use EAs. So E8 has good spreads and slippage. Yep. I'm trading 2 E8s at the moment on here. Got one there. I've got one there. Although that isn't actually physically trading anything, but yeah, I trade E8. They're good. And at the moment, if you go to E8 at the moment, there's a link on the website. But there's also a 15% discount code on called for gratitude. Basically, on Monday, we had a massive problem with E8. Their data provider screwed up royally. The data feeds went haywire, and a load of people got stopped out, a load of failed evaluations, all sorts of crap hit the fan basically on Monday. Their tier one provider, I don't know who their tier one provider is, but they had a big data issue. They've sorted it all out. It's all fine. But as a thank you, they're giving everybody 15% off. So I've just signed up for 2. There you go. US dollar Swiss ADR to the upside. Out of US dollar Swiss. Exit. Done. There we go. Look. Yesterday's profit. Back. See? What you get taken away with one hand, you get given back with the other. Very nice. I'm just about to close out Euro US dollar and Euro odd as well. So I should get $2,000 plus banked today. Still got some drawdown to deal with. But hey, that's what drawdown's for, to deal with. Right. There you go. For some reason, sounds seems really low today. I don't know why. If I can turn it up a bit more. Is that better? I don't know why it's not. I've done a Zoom call this morning. That's the only thing I can think. And for some reason, it's my mic up. But I'm getting my levels are. I'm in the yellow on the levels, and I went into the red. Then now I'm going to the red. Look, I'm going to be distorting, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Turn your volume up, and when the ads come on, just shut your eyes and bear with it. David, quick question. I'm on the second phase of my Forex funds, have 60 days. From your experience, do you handle this phase any differently? Risk percentage or stricter, leaner? No. So whatever you've done to get through phase 1, get through phase 2. When you get funded, rethink if you need to. I don't know how you're passing. So, with my evaluations, most of my evaluations, I tend to over leverage slightly. So whereas I go in with a 0.25% risk, I go in with a 0.3 or a 0.5% risk, just because I want to try and get the account over the line as fast as I can. And as long as market conditions allow, then I will do that. But if you are over leveraging to get through phase 1, up to you on phase 2. But bear in mind, if the market's doing this, and your P&L is doing that, the faster you get your P&L to target, the better. Because when the market starts to do that and your drawdown goes like that, you ideally want to be as far into funded as you can possibly be to get to that level where you can do a withdrawal and then stop trading, get that money out, get the money you've spent back, and then trade the account. So I'm always up for faster than safer. However, safer when you're funded. You can get 100 grand's worth of funding within a month, and half, i.e. doing 60. So you're going to need to do 8. You need to do 13% profit, right, to get past. So if you can do 13% profit in 1 month, that's quite over leveraged, probably. It's not unachievable, obviously, but if you half that when you get funded, you've got much more chance of just pulling 5 to 7% out very comfortably without going anywhere near your drawdown targets. And that's still $5,000 to $7,000 a month, isn't it? Replicate that 3 times, one with E8, one with my Forex funds, and one with Fiddlecrest, and off you go. That's a 20k a year job. If you can hold the accounts, obviously. But so it's up to you, really. But cool, look at that. That was a lovely hit. Yeah, so do E8 outro, I would. NQ, nice short from that high. There you go. What did I say? You heard it here first. So straight back down into propulsion. So watch this level for a bounce. So obviously this is where the limits are triggered. I wasn't watching, but that candle was the clue. We've just come off of there very, very nicely. So just watch this for, so one or two things we're going to get now. So we're either going to get the pullback into propulsion and continuation to the upside, or this is going to become your double top drop back down into here. Again, that's the 125 target that I said from this morning. So from when we started. So we're either going to go 125 ADR up or 125 ADR down. So that's where I'd be looking to target, or there. Or, you know, if you want to be conservative, just target here. But you can see where we're going, where we always go, back to where we've been. But we don't know which way. So nice short. Anybody that took that one? Dow. Oof. Hello, Dow. I told you, didn't I? Because I'm not trading it today, it's gone nuts. Right, so there's your opening range, your 5 minute opening range. So you would have had a push to the upside, stop out on the way down, short entry, 3R probably, isn't it? I don't want to look. I don't want to know. Typical, isn't it? Yeah, 2.5R. Very nice. Right, so the fact that the Dow has come out of the lows, if we look at the Dow, where the Dow's meant to be headed today, we've just tapped straight into that propulsion. We've broken the Globex low. So your target is going to be, again, 125 ADR to the downside, will be your kind of limit, I would expect today. Could get 150, which is yesterday's low. I'd be surprised if we get down there. We're going to need a very, very strong US dollar to get us down there. So keep an eye on the US. If the US rallies, this thing's going to dump. So at the moment, we seem to have a fair amount of strength. It's just pulling back a little bit at the moment. So Euro US dollar target to this downside is here, 150 ADR. Loads more room in this if they're going to move this today. Don't forget it's Friday afternoon as well. So these moves can end as quickly as they start, because once the banks have done their thing, they're down the pub Friday afternoon. So be careful. We might get all this revert again. So so it says with E8s, you can get 60 days rather than 30 days with their extended account. Yeah, that's right. Scaling process isn't bad either. Yeah, but don't forget the scaling process is not something you're really going to achieve. So one of the reasons I don't put scaling in here at all is because 85% of traders who pass a funded account don't even get their initial payout. Of the 15% that do actually manage to get a funded payout, 95% of those never get to stage to month 2. Yeah. Because the rules are too tight for you to hold an account for 2 to 3 months. I have held an account for 2 months. But I've never held one for 3. Just can't do it. Can't stick within the rules. That's why they're there. So forget scaling. You want to go you need to treat funded accounts as if they are a scalp. Yeah. So you want to scale them up. Spend a couple of £1,000 on evaluations. whatever funded accounts you get out of those evaluations, trade them up to £2,000 in revenue, stop trading, draw that £2,000 out, pay yourself back, and then start trading again with those accounts you've got. And the longer you can hold those for, that is your money, that's your pay. But don't expect to hold an account for 6 months and grow it to $1 million. It's not going to happen. Afternoon, Tarmo. Right, let's go through these ADRs. I keep trying to do these and we keep stopping because I keep seeing other things going on. So that's a propulsion fill off the double top. Next target, and that's done. I would say that's gone. We've got a little target all the way down there. So with this one, potentially, yeah, it's a range. Look. So we're just in a massive range at the moment. So quite possibly all the way back down there, fill that propulsion gap. So that's Aussie US. That's a 4-hour RSI extension. Although you've missed it, I'm already out of the trade. So Swiss yen. We looked at this one, didn't we, quickly? So I'm in short on this one, waiting for some yen strength to come through. We've got Euro CAD on the hourly. So that's extended to the downside nicely below the 25 level. That is probably a fill. That's probably already filled anyway. We've got tiny propulsion gap. So these tiny little ones, debatable. But RSI extension to the downside. So we are expecting Euro strength. We've got now not confirmed, but all but confirmed 2 euro rate increases. So this is bullish euro still. However, we have now also had possibly 2 US dollar rate increases announced today, which is massively bullish US dollar and CAD. So these two are very strong, which is why you're seeing on the chart lots and lots of push and pull. So again, this one doesn't matter which way you trade this, as long as this thing keeps pushing and pulling because we've got strength in both currencies, this thing's going to move beautifully with market structure. As long as you get in on an extension, you're going to get an exit on a drop. So you can trade this in either direction. So nice bullish buy now. Yeah, so you can see what I've been doing. Buy here, exit, sell there, exit, rinse, repeat. Buy here, exit. Didn't quite get to 7. Should have been a trade in there. Don't know why there wasn't. But yeah, you get, same thing. So that's a good opportunity to get in long Euro CAD. M5 reversal alert. You're just about to get it and then trade it back up. Euro pound is a 4-hour RSI extension. So this is pushing up at the moment. I've got shorts on this at the minute. 3 positions short. This is the one I took. Right, so this is the one I took this manual on this morning, isn't it? If you remember, Euro pound. One of these is a manual trade. That one there, look. So this is a manual trade. So dangers of trading manually and not using the market reversal alerts EA. Yeah, we were looking at this morning, and I said, wherever it was this morning, where did I take that entry? So that was yesterday's. Yeah, so I said this morning, I like this. I will get into this if this drops down because the distance there from there to there was not far off of an ADR. So what did it do? It took me in and it's pushed up and it's given me a reversal alert higher up and it's now pushing away. So these two positions are now too close together. So if this is going to rally and put in another RSI extension to the upside, I've now got way too much leverage on, more than I should have at this point. So dangers of trading manually, why you should let the EA do it and let it calculate it all. But I'm in 3 shorts on it. I should be in 2. However, my average is now nice and close anyway, so I don't care. So yeah, it's nicely extended on the hourly. We're embedded. We've got RSI divergence in place. Remember, I'm having a deja vu moment. Remember I said this morning? I said if we do push up further today, we'll get RSI divergence, which is nice and bearish. So like it's short, extended, M5 reversal alert you've just had, you're retesting at the moment. So this is basically, if this drops back down below that level again, if you wanted to, you could take a trade there and get in. So nicely extended. Euro is bullish, however. However, the pound is a little bit bullish at the moment as well, as you can see on the other pound pairs. But I'd be much more inclined for this to put a drop than to pop, just because we've had a nice big rally. We're due a pullback and then potentially continue to the upside. 4-hour RSI, whoops, is extended. That's the one we're looking at. So really nice extension. We've got this propulsion gap to fill as well. So if we were to get a 125, that would be a lovely entry. Anywhere up there would be lovely as well. But look at that big, strong move. So looking for a decent pullback on that at some point. They'll do the profit take move on it. And that will be an out. Euro US dollar, wrong one. Hello, there we go. Short on that. Looks like I'm just about to get out of that, to be honest. 42. Not quite. Close to ADR on that. I'm quite tempted to take that off as it is and just get it banked. We've done 1.9%. Pound New Zealand's going to bank as well soon. Another $600 there, isn't there? We'll leave it for the minute. Just it's very close to getting out of that. So yeah, US dollar. H1 RSI extension is just coming onto the downside. This is the H4, isn't it? We're already off. So you missed this one. Sorry. So that was extended. Obviously, the entry was there. Already in, missed it. Pound CAD. Nice extended to the downside. This one's coming down to support. There. We've got high there and a high there. ADR Euro New Zealand. So potential good bounce point there coming up, which is 125 ADR. So we're nicely extended on the 4-hour. New Zealand dollar, US dollar 125. New Zealand dollar CAD 125. This US dollar is really pushing. So pushing down to there, bounce back up into propulsion. I've already got one buy on this from yesterday. Oh no, that's from this morning, isn't it? Yeah. So you're literally just taken that trade at the end of London. So that was the RSI extension. So it's got invalidated, pushing down. So I'm looking for a push back up on that one. Pound CAD, so you can get into that one long. However, this Canadian dollar is obviously fairly strong at the moment off the back of the US. That's extended on the hourly. Yeah, big extension on the hourly and the 4-hourly. So we're extended on the 4-hourly almost down to 25. Again, same as this trade. Yeah. And the hourly, that's a big extension. So we're down way below 20. Last time we got down to there was that. So this is this deepest extension we've had on the pound CAD since February. All these other ones, obviously, just all played out beautifully down here. So just taking that there. If it goes down and we tap into that level or back down into here somewhere, take a second entry and exit on the rally. Pound Swiss. So pound Swiss is extended on the 4-hour. That's embedded down there now. So I'm in a long on this. Got 3 longs on this at the moment. This Swiss franc is really, really strong. So first entry there, second entry there, third entry there, scaled out twice on drawdown control. 200 ADR potentially is the only stopping point on this at the moment. Hopefully we won't need to use that. And we got this big propulsion gap. We've got propulsion gaps up there, and we got this whacking great one up here, which was caused by news. But if you look at it on the hourly, this is really where I would expect us to come back and retest. This area here, which is this accumulation break, has been tested multiple times, and that's where they stood. and didn't let it come back to. That's what we got off the news. So this is the propulsion gap that we've got left orphaned, which is 125 ADR. So the ideal for me on this would be to come and test this area and then push back up into there, because I'll have another entry on there. The average will drop down to there, and that will give me an exit when they retest this area here. But failing that, it may need to come all the way back down to 200 ADR. So see what happens on this one. But I'm long on it at the moment. It's nicely extended on the 4 hour and embedded down there. We're just not able to get any bounce off of it because the Swiss franc is just not giving up at the moment, which is fair enough. This is the problem with trading the Swiss franc. When it rallies, it doesn't stop. It's very, very, very strong. A lot of money goes through the Swiss banking system, especially in crisis. So that's rallying very hard at the minute. It will give up the ghost at some point, but at the moment, I'm just waiting. So if you want to get into that as a first position, it's nicely extended. So there's a good opportunity for a bounce on that now. The New Zealand dollar CAD, that's an ADR hit. So we're 125 ADR on that now. That's hourly RSI extension down to the 20. Again, just looking for a quick entry exit. Also, I'll be getting into that on an M5 reversal alert, which will be there. That will be a break of that level and out somewhere around about half an ADR to the upside. So that's good. Wait for the reversal alert on that. 125 ADR. It's fairly far away, the reversal alert. You're looking at sort of 18 pips, which is a quarter of an ADR. Obviously, you can see this marked on the chart. Quarter of an ADR before you're going to get the reversal alert. And you're looking for roughly a third to a half an ADR profit out of it. So somewhere up in that area. But yeah, that one's extended nicely. It's a good opportunity to get in on the 1 hour on that. US dollar CAD, I'm in that already, as we know. Long, very long. Long, 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 long. So finally, after all this scale out, managing to get some traction. My exit is miles away, though, at the moment. So with a rally on the US dollar CAD, typically they will move together in sync. So the US dollar moves, the Canadian dollar tends to move with it. However, the US dollar will always be the more dominant of the two. So as long as we get this rally and this continuation on US dollar strength, and I think the reason we're seeing this, Aussie US ADR as well, the reason I think we're seeing this is because of this. Yeah, so the Fed swaps fully price in a quarter point rate hike in June. We were told and under the impression that the May hike may or may not happen in May. It may or may not happen in May. And it was going to be 0.25 and unsure about that. What they've now said is there's a 90% possibility of that happening, i.e. we're going to hike in May by 0.25%. And we're now looking for a hike in June of 0.25%. So not only have we gone from 5 being the terminal rate to now potentially the terminal rate being 5.5, which makes the US dollar massively attractive because that now puts them above the Canadians when the website loads. This is running on a dedicated server. I must have a load of traffic on that at the moment. Yeah, so it's going to put them above the New Zealand dollar and way above the CAD. And the CAD have frozen rates. So they've put the brakes on. So US dollar CAD has got a lot more upside potential than the Canadian dollar has against the US. So hopefully this is the start of the rally. And we'll come back up and get all these propulsion gaps sorted out to the upside. But we'll see. So it looks good. Longs, obviously it looked good for longs. It's looked good for longs, as far as I'm concerned, for what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 2 weeks. Nearly 3. So been stuck in that for 3 weeks now. Never mind. Get out of it soon. US dollar Swiss. Out of that. So yeah, that was your 4 hour RSI extension. If you weren't in it this morning, you've missed it. That was your entry. Yeah, there we go. Everything covered. 2.25 banked. Still got a fair bit of drawdown to deal with though. There's nothing getting, actually pound Swiss is now. So these, there's a couple of, well, they're 1%, but pound Swiss is the main drawdown at the moment, and CAD yen is getting close. shorting CAD yen, and obviously now we've got a load of rally coming off of the CAD off the back of the US dollar. So we need that yen strength to come through at the moment. But the pound Swiss is the real struggle. Obviously, the US dollar CAD is now starting to play out. So if this US dollar rally continues, that'll be out on Monday, Tuesday. But the pound basically against the Swiss franc is the main problem at the moment. The pound is obviously a sell, but we've got that massive strength in the Swiss franc at the moment, which is more than normal. So not a lot I can do about that one. US dollar yen just to get extended on ADR. More US dollar strength. So I'm going to sneeze. Try not to. Outro. Just want to build my personal account, to be fair. We were talking about prop, weren't we? Yeah, personal account. Build your personal account, definitely. But because your personal account, you can do what the hell you like with it, can't you? That's the thing. If prop firms let you treat their accounts like personal accounts, you'd have an awful lot of people blowing the prop firm's money, wouldn't you? So I understand why the rules are there, but PM, for your information, Apex Trader Funding is having a 90% discount. Yeah, I used to be with Apex. You don't get paid for 3 months, unfortunately. Not in full. I used to trade futures with Apex. It's no use having a 90% discount on something you never get paid on, is it? Again, when you know the business model, and you see these 90% discounts coming in, they look fantastic. But they know full well that every single penny they get from all of those evaluations are keeping the whole lot of it. They're not going to give any of it back to traders, because with Apex, if you take 100K evaluation, you will only ever be able to draw out 2,500 of it in the first month. They keep the rest until month 3. And you won't survive till month 3, because the trailing intraday drawdown on futures will kill you well before you get anywhere near getting a payout. So it looks good on paper. I've been funded with Apex multiple times and never held. You never can. Swiss yen. Pomeranja, welcome aboard. Excuse me. Swiss yen. It's going nowhere. I'm short at the moment, but it's going nowhere. So sideways. So I'm short on the RSI extension. From there. Look at this. I mean, this is what I was saying about the Swiss franc. Yeah, Swiss franc is just on a absolute steamroller at the moment. As soon as that Swissy lays off a bit, that will pop down, come and do these propulsion gaps down here. It's obviously got all the way down here to go, but that could take weeks, months. But 150 ADR short target. James, is there a way to see how many EAs you have active? No, I don't think so. Just counting the charts. The only way you can do it is if you go to window. I don't think you can do it on the. Oh, I'm out of US dollar CAD. There we go. First trading profit on that account. Very nice. Thank you very much. That was an ADR reversal. Yeah, so if you go to tools, to window, and then view all, you get this window which shows you all the windows you have open, which for me is obviously all the EAs running, but there's no way to count them. Doesn't work that way. Ooh, let's go mean reversion. H4. 2% banked, 2% drawdown. Very nice. ADR looks like we're going to get out the euro US dollar. All that's going to do is pay for the losses today. So don't think we're going to make much more than 2.5%. But hey, 2.5% a week, 10% a month. I'll take it. Initially, is it sufficient to solely buy the market reverse alerts EA and buy the trade management dashboard at a later date? Yeah, you do what you like. Does all the pair info, example drawdown percentage, number of positions, etc., show on the box on the chart? Yeah. So on the EA, probably best to show it on here. Actually, it's probably best to show it in the strategy tester. So I'll turn everything on so you can see everything. So this is everything that the dashboard shows. Which you're probably not going to see because my big head's in the way. Let me just wait for it to update and move it. So it shows you, there you go, there's everything. So it shows you the drawdown in total, profit percentage in total, total pips, total money profit, long pips money and short pips money, total, yesterday's total, the current month, the previous month, and your total profit. Based on this magic number for this EA in this account, obviously. Then it gives you all the other statistics in there, like what lot size your next trade's going to be, the distance between positions, your magic numbers, the last buy sell price for distancing for ADR and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so it shows you all of that. So yeah, it does show you this in here, but obviously it's not ideal. But what I would say to do is if you're not going to use the dashboard for monitoring what's going on, you can still get an idea based on the amount of money that one position will be in drawdown. So if you open up your P&L and look at your trades and then sort them by profit going up, that will show you your worst positions. Yeah. So pound Swiss, for example, right now has got the most drawdown for me. So you can basically just drag that on and have a look at it and go, right, pound Swiss, need to start doing some work on this one. But yeah, there are other, there's other indicators and things out there you can get that will give you the, I might have one actually called, I can never remember the name of this one. It shows you the statistics on the chart. I think it's that. No, that only gives you the pips. If you Google MT4 indicator to show drawdown or something like that, it or show trade values, whatever. There are some out there that will give you it on the chart for that individual instrument. Obviously, the whole purpose of this is so you can monitor your entire portfolio in one go. But if you're going to flick through every every one, you're looking for the biggest negative numbers, aren't you, really? So, but bear in mind, pips is no use as a measurement because pips don't necessarily help you with values, do they? I don't know. But obviously, you don't need to get anything. Any thoughts on Samuel and Co. trading? Never heard of them. No, never heard of them. Six steps. Don't know. Profit share 50%. Not interested. Sorry. Nah. Not 100% sure, but did I hear Apex is considering changing their payout frequency? They've changed their payout frequency, yes. So you now can get paid every fortnight, not every month, but the amount that you can get paid hasn't changed. They hold back. If you got a 100K account with Apex and you traded it to 150K somehow, and then went to them after the 2-week payout, say, thank you very much, can I have my 50K? They go, no, you can have 1,500 of it. And you go, why? And they go, look at your terms and conditions, because that's all we're going to give you. However, in 3 months' time, when you've been with us for 3 months and traded successfully with us for 3 months, you can have the whole lot. But the condition is you have to trade regularly with us and consistently be in the market trading. What's going to happen? You're going to have a bad run. You're going to blow the account. You're not going to get paid. Aussie dollar CAD. ADR. You've got to read the small print. Jesus, look at that. Aussie dollar is absolutely collapsing. I don't know what that was. That was a big move on the Aussie dollar CAD for some reason. Canadian dollar strength and a bit of weakness on the Aussie by the looks of things. New Zealand's doing the same. So 125 ADR, New Zealand dollar CAD, that's coming down really hard. Look. So the New Zealand pairs or the Australasian pairs basically seem to be having a little bit of a weak spot. If you look at the bias on these, Aussie dollar pairs. So the Aussie dollar pairs basically are all kind of rangy at the moment. There's nothing really strong, nothing really weak. The Aussie dollar US dollar is a big sell at the moment, but the Aussie dollar CAD is completely range bound. There's no bias. I suspect that is going to change over the coming weeks, and we're going to see the Canadian dollar having a positive bias again because of oil. The other thing I've got to mention this morning is we had news on oil this morning. Credit Suisse sees an 80% chance of recession over the next 12 months. So we had this oil news this morning. I didn't really notice this morning when we were trading because I wasn't watching the news and I didn't see my pop-up come up on it. OPEC plus cuts intensify the siege on oil consumers. The oil supply deficit forecast by 400,000 barrels per day to 800,000 barrels a day. So this is supply being constricted dramatically and demand remaining the same, meaning that you can charge more for your product. So this is, again, massively bullish oil. They are going to grow output to 1.2 million barrels a day, but it's been cut dramatically. So they're going to be behind on oil supply, which means you will find oil probably going to rally again. So this breakout that we got, remember I said this morning that was the buy, was the pull back into here and then the rally. We've just basically taken everybody out. Look at that. Beautiful. They're horrible, aren't they, brokers, that, or the market in general? So I said this morning, there was where you wanted to buy it this morning, right? We had a reversal of that there, didn't we? And I said, there's your buy. They've come, everybody that bought that used a stop loss, is now dead. So this is the best buy now, buy the double bottom, because they've done the liquidity run. And the likelihood is that that is going to be, you can't really see market structure because it's been such a long sideways movement, but that's your low, high. There's your movement. Yeah. So it's either that, and we're going to run to $95 a barrel now, or they're going to drop and do that gap. But that news this morning, I didn't realize that news this morning had come in, is much more bullish. So I think that's going to be left behind. We will see over the next few days. But right now, I'm just not going to get involved in it because it's a very difficult one to trade. But the trade I said this morning, which is a good idea, is that. So take that breakout. If we look at it on the higher time frame, 4 hours probably better to look. No, let's look at it on the hourly. So the trade basically is, can't see any higher. Entry there when you break that high, stop underneath this low. Yeah, $95 a barrel is a 5R. So if you want to hold it long, there's a 5R trade there. The other way, if you fancy the gap fill, was to take a breakout short with your stop above the Asian high today, and then do the gap fill, which was something ridiculous, wasn't it? I can't remember what it was. 6R. So there's your short or your long there. They're both really good trades. And basically all it is a breakout of yesterday's high and yesterday's low, really. But after we saw that, so both of those are valid trades. If you took both of those and didn't touch them and just let them play out with a stop and a TP, it's a high probability one of those is going to get hit, which is a 6R return. But like I said this morning, I can't be bothered to hold it for that long. So good idea, though. Samuel Leach has a pretty entertaining series on YouTube. Never heard of them. Got to run for a bit. I don't make it back before the stream ends. Have a great weekend. Bye, James. Do you have a good settings for average range number? ADR 10 is what I use, or AWR. I use a 12. So ADR 10 and AWR 12 and AMR 12. Reason being, that is 2 weeks. That is 3 months. That is 1 year. Yeah. So on the monthly ranges, I'm using an average of the last year to give me a monthly average range. On the weekly, I'm using the last quarter to give me the average range per week over the last quarter. ADR, I'm using the last 2 weeks to give me the average movement on a 2-week period. Yeah. You could use 10 on all of them. There's little in it. I wouldn't worry. You soon learn after a while that regardless of what indicators you use, the difference between this setting and that setting in the grand scheme of things is nothing. If you have a setting in an indicator that will give you an entry there or there, doesn't matter. If you're using a stop loss, it's critical, but it's never going to work, is it? Because the historical things you've based all of your research on are never going to happen again. So whatever you've used and determined is the best setting isn't going to be the best setting next week. It's going to be the setting that was good over the period you tested. So if you're not using a stop loss, however, the difference between a 14 and a 21 RSI is irrelevant because you're basically waiting for the market to get you into profit. And it doesn't really matter which you use, does it? New Zealand dollar CAD is looking good from ADR perspective. 125 ADR. Wait for that M5 reversal alert. Much tighter now, look. Much tighter reversal alert. That's going to be a nice little trade. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, same thing. New Zealand dollar CAD and New Zealand dollar, US dollar, pretty much the same thing at the moment, as you can see. Very nice tight reversal alert when it happens. All looking good. Got to get on top of some of this now. Euro US dollar looks like it's going to bank hopefully today, although that's probably getting close to ADR. Not far off. Right, average weekly range. Yeah, so whichever one you want to use. So the ADR dashboard basically does obviously daily, weekly, and monthly ranges. So it doesn't, I'd say, it doesn't really matter which one you use, but I use the 10. All my research was done on the 10s and the 12s. So that's why I use them. New Zealand dollar, US dollar, Bart Simpson pattern on 5 minute. No, I can't see it, Brian. Sorry. Are you saying that looks like Bart Simpson's head? That's a really bad Bart Simpson. Is that it? That is actually a chart pattern, believe it or not, but it's a very uneven version of it. It's a Batman, basically. So Batman pattern is that. Batman's cowl. But it's not a Bart Simpson. It's a Batman. That is a legitimate trading pattern as well. I'm not making it up. Go and Google it. There he is. See? It's a Batman. It exists. It's a real thing. There he is again, look. Although that's not what I was taught as a Batman. That's more that I was taught as a Batman. Yeah, so the way that I was taught Batman was right cowl and then a rounding top. Right cowl, left cowl, rounding top, right cowl. Hey, that looks more like the one I just drew. Anyway, it is a thing. Everything's a thing in trading. Everything's a thing. A to Z. AZ. The headache, AZ. Headache of trying to find a way to make money on prop with all their rules is really getting jarring. 50% win on a 2-to-1 ratio is actually way harder than it seems. Incredibly hard. Incredibly hard. The reason a 2-to-1 on a 50% is hard is because your target will never be achievable. Yeah. If you look at, let's just pick a pair and pick a time frame. Right. So let's pick this short here, which looks like the easiest trade in the world, doesn't it? And this one will probably work out. But so obviously, if you're getting in short on the reversal alert, for example, yeah, you're going to use a stop above the high. Gone the wrong way. Yeah, so stop above the high. Entry on the reversal alert. Look at where the 2 to 1 R is. There. Yeah. Entry. Stop loss. 2R. Right. So this thing, from where it was today, when you get on this, it's got to move 150% of its average daily range to hit your target. Yeah. So to get to your target, there's a 23% chance of that happening. So if you enter a trade with a 2 to 1 R, yeah, this is what people don't realize. It might sound like it's not far to go, but when you measure where your stop is going, right, and you realize how far you've actually got to get price to travel, it has to go way beyond its normal ranges to get to them normally, which is why a 1.5 R target is much more achievable and has a much higher strike rate. But people don't want to use 1.5 R because it takes too long to get to the targets. So they go for those home runs. Or what you do is, instead of trading normal time frames, like the hourly charts where everything's smoothed out and everything becomes easy, you drop down to M5 to get those really tight entries. But then what happens on those tight entries? I'm going to find one now because the market's been a mess today. It's not bad. Yeah, so you take these little tight entries. Yeah, 2R is there. So the entry on this one was here. That's not fair. Let's put it where it should be. There. Yeah, so there's your 2R target. That's ADR. There's a 58% chance it's not going to get there today. And if this does that for 3 days, there's probably an 80% chance it's never going to get to 2R. Risk reward is the biggest con in the world. It really is. And this is why they teach you this, because it's very unlikely you're ever going to hit it. Why do you think I target a third to a half an ADR? Because the odds are in my favor. Yeah, this is the average daily range of the CAD Swiss. If I target half of that average daily range, the chances of me hitting it are incredibly high. The chance of me hitting it in a day or 2 days is virtually a given most of the time if the entry is half decent. But if you target 1 ADR or 2 ADR, it's going to struggle. 58% of the time, the market is within ADR. 80% of the time, the market is within a range. So if you're trading within a range 80% of the time, the odds of you getting outside of ADR and hitting a 2 to 1 target are very, very small. On the hourly charts, to hit a 1.5 R might take 2 to 3 days. So, you know, you're going to get big days, obviously. Yeah. So you're always going to have the outliers where you get a massive push like this. So you took the breakout, and this is where all the guys, all the hindsight traders come in. Yeah. All the guys that go, hey, come and buy my course about the London breakout strategy. Check out this London breakout. Bang. How quick and easy was that? Yes. How often does that happen? Once or twice a month. Yeah. What normally happens in the London breakout? We go breakout, fail. Push again? No, double top. Oh, hang on, we go up to there. No, we'll pull back down again. My 2 to 1 R, right, that's 1 to 1 R. We didn't even get 1 to 1 R. Good luck getting 2 to 1. You know, all the strategies that teach it are all focused around low time frames to get tight entries. Low time frame tight entry strike rates will be 20-30%. So yeah, if you do get that 2 to 1 R, chances of you actually getting a 50% strike rate on it are just so small. As soon as you drop the stop, though, you hit it all the time because you never hit your stop, because the market is feeding on stops. So if you don't use the stop, but you use the target part, suddenly you become profitable. We're the world. Dow is still coming down very nicely. We're just dropping down at the moment into that propulsion gap, which has just got a beautiful bounce. Target 125 ADR is well within reach today. So this is where I said this morning, or this afternoon rather, would be the potential for them to hit today if the US dollar powers up. So getting a bit late in the day now, we might not get down there, but it's on its way. Not going bad. Gold is melting. It will do because the US dollar is going up. Because it's a US dollar cross. Is it sinking in yet? What I say every day. Is it sinking in? 175 ADR. That's pretty good, isn't it? God, you wait until Monday morning. Everybody that was in the live room this morning when I said sell gold today, they're all going to come in on Monday and go, oh, sold gold. It's like, yep, well done. That's the one day I got it right in the last 3 weeks. I should clip it, shouldn't I? That's what I should do. I should make a video of this morning's live room when I said to sell gold and the target was down here. Yeah. I said it's unlikely you'll hit it today, but it probably hit it within the next couple of days. And then I'll cut immediately to the PM session where I go like this and say, there you go. So there's the gold trade that I said to take this morning. We went straight down to the target that I said was going to get hit this morning. If you'd like to buy my course for £2,500, I'll teach you how to do this on a regular basis. That's how you make this stuff look. ADR, US dollar CAD, and pound New Zealand at the same time. Market's really flying. Pound New Zealand, ADR hit to the upside. I'm out of pound New Zealand from yesterday's ADR reversal, back up into propulsion. What was the other one? US dollar CAD, was it? I missed it. I was talking. Yeah, so it's US dollar CAD. We hadn't hit ADR. We just were shy of it. So US dollar CAD's ADR now as well. And pound New Zealand. So all mean reversion opportunities here on all of these as well. So what goes up comes down. Yeah, prime example. This was ADR yesterday. ADR is 179. This moved down 188 yesterday. Took the entry on the reversal alert out. This is hit ADR today. It carries on up to there. Short it back down into there and just keep playing it between the propulsion gaps. Look at that. 5-minute RSI extension. That's the strongest move we've had this month on pound New Zealand. I have a client-facing job, so I'm in and out of the room. Any chance I get? Really appreciate work. Boo. You have to watch replays. You have the privilege of watching me on 150% if you watch the replays. I talk fast as it is, so good luck with that. You'll need some something to keep you awake. Right. Euro US dollar is still coming down. Can't be far off a TP on that, surely. $42. So TP for me is just beyond ADR. Unless it hits $500 first, which is more likely it's going to actually hit $500 by the time it hits the half an ADR. But anyway. Afternoon, Thomas, 76. Welcome aboard. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit subscribe. If you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, hit the thumbs up. How many people we got? 73. How many thumbs up we've got? Probably not 73. If anybody's got any others they want to have a look at, let me know. Loads of RSI extensions all over the place at the moment. So if you want to be super safe, stick in line with the bias scorecard. Just trade in direction of the bias scorecard. But otherwise, there's loads of opportunities all over the place at the minute. Pound CAD is looking incredibly strong on the hourly. That's already played out. Missed it. Not yet. No, sorry, you haven't. 5-minute reversal alert's just coming up. And New Zealand dollar CAD. I'm going to be getting in on this one. This is a nice ADR reversal. Third of an ADR is going to be somewhere around 30. So that's that gap fill. So that is a third of an ADR. So when we get the reverse alert, the exit. Loads of others lit up as well. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there. If anybody needs anything, let me know. I will be in the Telegram group. Otherwise, I'll be back on Monday at 7:50 for the Frankfurt session. I'll be back at 2:20 for the New York session. AZ with stop loss trading being the a-hole that it is. Isn't it fair to say prop firms are just a waste of money? Better to save up and have your own account. No, I mean, it doesn't work that way. So look at the set files here. Yeah. So this is the ADR reversal set file. It's done 9.45% this month. Hasn't got over 3% drawdown all month. So it's bank 9, hasn't got over 3. So if you're running the ADR reversal EA, which I am, you've smashed target already, and that's all withdrawable on a 100k account. That's nine grand. Thank you very much. That's this month though. Last month it did 23%, and I don't think it got anywhere near 5% drawdown. However, other months you will hit your drawdown and you won't win, but it's all a maths it's a maths game, right? If an evaluation costs you $499 and you took 10 evaluations and spent $5,000, right? And out of that $5,000, you got 2 to 3 funded accounts. Out of those 2 to 3 funded accounts, if one of them did this, you've just made 4 grand. It's just a numbers game, the same as anything else. You could almost look at every prop evaluation you take as a trade. Yeah. So if you took 10 trades and you had a 50% strike rate, you're going to fail 50% of your evaluations, but you're going to pass 50% of your evaluations. Out of those 50%, you got 5 accounts to trade with. If you had a 50% strike rate, out of those 5 accounts, let's say you failed 3 of them, you're left with 2. Those 2 are funded accounts. Out of those 2 funded accounts, if one of those funded accounts gets through and makes you more than $5,000, which is what you spent on the evaluations in the first place, your business just made a profit. If you have 2 funded accounts that get you to 10,000, you just made 15 grand. It's just maths. Prop is a business like any other business out there. You've got costs and you've got profits. Your costs are evaluations. Your profits are whatever you manage to get through to funded level and draw out. So if you get an account through to funded level and trade it up to 5k, stop, withdraw, right? So if you get to 5k in 2 days and you don't get paid for 14, you sit on that account for 12 days and you wait for them to get that payout button to become active. You take that money and then you restart the account and hope that you can do that before you hit 5%. If you can do that, happy days. But while you're doing this, you've got another 10 evaluations on the go, making you more money and making you more funded accounts, more profit, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. The game is not to spend $499 trying to get a $100,000 account over the line in 60 days and then hopefully hold on to it for 3 months to grow it to 1 million. That's the game everyone's trying to play. That's the game that you will never pass. The game you will pass is taking multiple evaluations, screwing a hell of a lot of them up, getting a few of them over the line and making sure the ones you get over the line, you trade properly and make sure you make a profit. Using a solid strategy over a long period of time that banks 0.5 to 1% a day. 5% a month on a 10k account is 5 grand. On a 100k account, that is 5 grand. You've got 300k accounts running, you're a 15 grand a month trader. That's the way I see prop, which is why I put together the prop comparison so that other people can see, you know, everybody's got a different strategy. Yeah. So whatever your strategy is, yeah, you pick the prop firm that fits your strategy. If you're a scalper and you go in with 1.5% risk a trade, you want to pick one of the prop firms that has a 0 minimum days, like Fidelcrest, E8, CTIs, that's direct funding. So Fivers, Surge Trader. Yeah, Surge Trader is brilliant. One phase evaluation, no days to pass. If you went long with 5% risk on one trade, you could be passed in an hour. I'm not sure how much they'd like it, but yeah. So if you bought 10 of those, it's not hard to pass it, is it? You can't tell me that you're going to have 10 losing. Well, you will have 10 losing trades in a row at some point, but that's the game. You just got to play it our way, not their way. Or just use your own money, and then you haven't got to worry about it, which is much easier. James, you just go about trading wrong. You're supposed to take a 50 lot position and target 10 pips. A lot of people do that in E8. Yeah. The E8 leaderboards. So I think Surge Trader's got leaderboards, isn't it, as well? I think they published theirs. Hello? Oh, okay. No. Who has it's got? Someone else has got leaderboards. They publish. E8 have got leaderboards anyway, but I don't think E8 actually publish their leaderboards in public. They don't know. But if you look in the admin area of E8 and you look at the leaderboards, there's people passing evaluations in 1 minute 30 seconds. And they're doing exactly what James has just said. You go in with 50 lots long, you close your eyes, you go, you press the button, open your eyes, close it, onto phase 2, do the same. Thank you very much, 100 grand. Do the same, 12.5 grand profit. Stop. There's people doing it. But EA now do not allow that. They're still doing it, but what you will find is if you go here to, there's a bit on gambling in here. I can't remember which bit it is. But they've got a section on gambling now in the EA FAQs and in their contract. Policy against gambling. It's worth reading. Account rolling is basically what I just described. So you buy 3 evaluations, you go long on one, short on the other with massive lot sizing. Hopefully you don't get spiked out on both with a whipsaw. One of them will pass. Thank you very much. Job done. Not allowed anymore. What they're doing is they're not saying you can't do it, but what they're saying is they will massively reduce your leverage and they will reduce your payout percentages as well when they see you doing it. So you can't do it. They're getting cute. Or rather, we're getting cute, aren't we? We're figuring out how to game the system, and they don't like it, which is fair enough. But yeah, you need to be trading gold to do it. Which of the EAs would you say works best with the prop firm rules? Market reverse alerts or ADR reversals? There isn't an ADR reversals EA. There is the market reversal alerts EA. Yeah, this trades ADR reversals. The market reversal alerts EA trades all my strategies. H1, M5, H4, M5 mean reversion, hedging, and ADR reversals. So the EA trades all of it. Fidel does. What does Fidel does what? God, this website's so slow. Why is this so slow all of a sudden? I need to do some speed tests. But the EA, yeah, so basically if you watch this video, this will show you all the strategies being executed by the EA. Yeah. So this just shows you it executing all the strategies which are in the manual. Not in the manual, on the strategies part of the website up here. Which again is really, really slow. There we go. Yeah. So there's all the strategies. Never mind, it's recent payouts. Leaderboard is under your dash. Oh yeah, the leaderboards. Yeah, yeah. They've got leaderboards, but the leaderboards, the ones in E8. The reason I like the E8 leaderboards is because they show you how quickly people are passing evaluations. The Fidelcrest one shows you the payouts, doesn't it? And how much profit people have made. But it doesn't show you the speed. And that's the thing about it. When you have a 0 day pass with a prop firm, you're going to try and pass it in 0 days, aren't you? I did it with the 8, didn't I? I did it. I put it in Telegram group, passed in the morning with one evaluation. And then I took stage 2 in the afternoon, passed in the afternoon. So I traded the DAX in the morning, scalped it, traded the NASDAQ in the afternoon, scalped it. I was funded by 5 o'clock with 100 grand. It's easily doable. You're not going to do it every time, but if you want to get funded, if you do it 10 times, you're going to pass some. You can't be that unlucky. The market is a random element. Yeah. If you hit the long button constantly all day long, at some point it's going to go long. You're going to win. So if you risk 2% on 10 different accounts, yeah, taking 20 trades a day, you're not going to blow any of those accounts, but a couple of those are going to put in massive runs and you're going to get a 4 to 8% profit return. You're going to pass. That's what I mean. If you took 10 evaluations and just hit the long button on 10 instruments, some of them are going to cross. By pure random chance of flipping a coin, some of them will pass evaluation. They know that. That's why they have the rules in place, isn't it? And I've done it. It's not trading, is it? It's gambling. Is the market reversal EA hands-free? No, it's an EA. Dat, go to the website. There's links flying across the bottom constantly. There's links in chat. If you scroll up, there's links constantly being put in there. Yeah, here's a link I'm putting in right now for you. Go and watch the video. It's an EA. EAs take trades for you. They completely automated. However, if you want to trade the way that I trade, you're going to need to watch everything. So go and watch the bootcamp, and the bootcamp will teach you how I trade. I use the EA to execute all of my trades. This VPS here is running all the strategies, trading away, fully automated. However, I am watching everything because there is no EA in the world that isn't at some point going to get you into a trouble, because that's what trading is going to get you into trouble at some point. So you've got to watch it. The EA will execute all the strategies for you. Go watch the YouTube channel. I mean, on the YouTube, there's loads of videos. Look, if I could type. So just go to the video section on my channel. There's loads of profit. Look at that. Watch that March one. That's a good one to watch. This advert constantly comes up. This bloke polishing his sword. Yeah, so this shows you last month's results. Yeah, all the trades I took, all taken in here, all taken with the EA. Yeah, but I am the trader. All the EA is a blunt tool to execute the orders for me, and it will get me out. Yeah, everything you see here in this P&L today has all been generated with the EA. Everything you see this month, all this is all the EA has done everything. I haven't touched it. I have touched it a couple of times, but not, don't have to touch it. Yeah, when that gets to $500, it's just going to stick it over there. I'm watching this because it's getting close to thresholds where I might start to intervene with those trades. But as long as this market moves, the strategies will play out and get banked. The ones that don't work, you concentrate on those. And that's where you focus your attention. So right now, there's only 2 things, not even on my radar yet, but 2 things next week at some point I will probably need to intervene with. If the pound Swiss doesn't push, if the CAD yen doesn't drop, I will probably need to intervene on those 2. And I'll use some of this profit to remove some of that drawdown. But that's all taught in the bootcamp. TFT, the funded trader. They're awful, the funded trader. I just can't get past their website. I said I was going to go, didn't I? But now I've started waffling again. I just can't get past their website. It's like a kid's game. Yeah, this is a business. This is trading. I'm not playing knights and dragons with a castle. Come on, this is... I get the idea, but no. It's just wrong, isn't it? Look, and there's too many options on this website. Look, do you want the standard? Yeah, okay. Do you want the swing or regular? Not sure. Well, what if I had the rapid? Well, yeah, that looks good. What about the swing or the regular? Not sure. Well, what about the royal? What level do I take on the royal? How about trying to pass the knights challenge? This is not a game. It just, you know, it's just, look, they compare themselves as well to my Forex funds. They're more expensive. Yeah. Their maximum drawdown is the same pretty much. Their payouts are 10% more. That's wrong. Payout split on my Forex funds is not 70%, it's 75. Minimum trading days, 3 as opposed to 5. Who cares? You know, their targets are worse. Yeah, so they're advertising the fact that they're more expensive and their targets are worse. Good selling. Just no. Use code seize the day. 5% off and 90% lifetime payouts. Just no. Apparently the AI stable bot is what you need to get my Lambo, according to the midstream advert. My sanity is really starting to get stretched. AI stable bot. Market reversal alerts EA does that. Look. I've got my Lambo. I've got my gold chains. All I need now is somewhere to spend my money, isn't it? God, I'm looking sharp. Right, I'm going to leave it there because it's the weekend. I'm off next Friday and Monday. I've got a long weekend, so I'm not here next Friday and Monday, but I'm here all the rest of next week. So I will be back Monday morning, 7:50, 2:20, usual times. If you need anything, come in the Telegram group. Links are going along the bottom right now to Telegram if you want to go and join the Telegram group. And obviously, there's links all over the website, Telegram, etc. So have a good weekend. Just keep on top of anything you've got here. Euro US dollar's about to TP, which is nice. That'll finish that one off in a second. Go on, do it on stream. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. Come on. No, it's not going to do it. Come on, next candle. Let's just do this before I go. Can we just get this TP'd? God, the pressure. Look, the market's now going, oh, everyone's watching Lee. Quick. Should we let him have it? Should we let him have it? Oh, go away. Pound US dollar. Come on. That's got to be enough. I'm going to close it out manually in a minute if it doesn't shut that. It's 42. That's 43 pips. It's the spread. Literally, it's on the cusp. Look. Come on. Just give us a couple more pips. Oh, this is really annoying, isn't it? Yours just hit, did it, Brian? Yeah, come on. Let's have it. Oh, what way to end the stream. I'm going to have to close it manually because if that turns into a bull candle, I'm going to be cross. It's not going to do it, is it? PM, 2.2% this week with ADR only. Very nice. Good job. No, it's not going to do it. Look. We're in a propulsion gap as well. So it's highly likely we're going to find a load of buyers here. I'm going to see this is why you need to be in control as a trader. I'm going to manually close this out, this Euro US dollar, because if it goes all the way back without TPing, it will just make me cross. Oh, that's a manual position. That's why. Remember, I took a manual on this morning. That's why. There we go. Out Euro US dollar. Done. 2.78. Right. Now I'm going. So I'll see you guys on Monday. If you need anything, I'll be in the Telegram group. Otherwise, have a good weekend and hope it's profitable. And I'll see you on Monday.